Okay, here we go. I'm not going to mess around. I'm just recording it straight off the cuff. I'm having a handful of this. It's not even Bombay mix. It's Vindaloo mix. Right, this is a hardcore shit. And some of my wonderful homebrewed lager. This is about my 5th attempt at recording this because it just gets way too waffly. This is a problem recording when I've had a drink. So this is one of these wonderful off-the-cuff videos, which is the beauty of subscribing to my second channel, I suppose, or the penance of it, depending how you look at it. I don't know. You decide that for yourself. But I wanted to talk about what I've looked at today. I've had a wonderful day doing little bits around the house, painting, putting shelves up, sorting out my CC. Let me show you my CCTV system, shall I? Let me show you. This isn't the best light for it, but this is what I've rigged up there. See all the cameras? You can see that whole lot, right? Nothing is going to get by. Look, if you want to see everything that's happened today, let me show you here. Where's the right mouse? Where are we? Where's the mouse? Where's the other mouse? Oh, bollocks, I've lost my mouse. Oh, there it is. There's my mouse. Right, okay, let me show you this. Are we still on there? Yes, we are. So, let me show you. Look, if I go into that, and then events. Look at this. Look at this. This is a day in the life of. I can pick any. This is me getting home from. It's me getting home from work. On my bike. Look, you see, whole lot, whole day, coming in there. All finally finalised today. So, okay, so that's my day. Nothing to do with this video whatsoever. What I want to talk about is the videos that I've been listening to today while I've been doing all of this. And it's been fun. It's been like a peanut gallery type experience today. While at the same time a little bit sad. Because it involves left-wing politics. I'm not left-wing, right? I'm very centrist in favour of a mixed economy. I believe that different kinds of free market solutions, state-run solutions, blah, 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 work for different kinds of things. In terms of issues, I'm generally quite socially progressive, but I believe that there needs to be a modicum of common sense with regard to that and progress at a sensible rate, not go charging headlong. You know, society has changed so little over thousands of years, really, and then let's achieve everything in the next 18 months. It just doesn't fucking work like that, right? That's just a recipe for disaster. If everything is sorted out in 500 years' time and we've got it all nailed down, that would be absolutely fucking fantastic, quite honestly. I don't expect that to happen. If it could, that would be fantastic. That would be a wonderful time scale. I don't expect everything to be sorted in my lifetime. Some people believe it's going to be sorted by a week next Tuesday, and if it isn't, it's taken too long. Anyway. Left-wing politics is still important to me because there are issues on left-wing politics that are important to me. And as somebody who votes, in the UK terms, has voted Conservative and Labour, right-wing and left-wing, always important that whoever's in power has a viable opposition. And a viable opposition, a credible opposition, means that the politicians have to be credible. But also that underneath that, the different factions that make up that political party have to be prepared to work together. If they invest most of their energies in trying to demonize one another, that ain't going to work, right? And at the moment, what I'm seeing at the moment is that in right-wing politics, which seems to be doing rather well, not only is it doing rather well, but in terms of factionalism, which is something that can undermine politics, it seems to be at a sort of local, time-wise, low. Left-wing politics not only seems to be doing badly in elections, but that factionalism seems to be at a high, which is worrying because it's now at a time when it needs to be at a low. And it's not. It's the other way round. And there seems to be a schism, I think, between two areas, the traditional economic area of left-wing politics, of socialism, and these sort of more progressive, liberal, more middle-class ideas, frankly, often from people who aren't living in those working-class areas, who have what are sometimes more right-wing views, actually, in some areas. And it's the two are seeming more incompatible with one another than at any time, and maybe that underlies some of what is happening. And as a result of that, I've had a spectacular day. Doing these different things and listening to these different videos, either from people creating this shit on the left between them and other leftists. I hate the term leftists, but that seems to be used a lot now. Or complaining about the fact that that has happened. And it's really rather weird, actually. You get people like Vosh, who I kind of came across quite recently. I'd heard of him, but never really watched his material. Who's quite an amenable chap, quite bullish, actually. Very fucking dry wit, which means he's kind of a clever bloke. I don't agree with him on his economic politics, but he's clearly a clever guy. And paints a pretty good picture for what he believes. And he did a debate with Sargon of Akkad. And quite honestly, he hung Sargon of Akkad, in my view, it's just my view, hung Sargon of Akkad out to dry, tore him a new arsehole, really. And yet he's getting shit off his own side. From people who couldn't have done a tenth of what he's done. Even from people who have more moderate positions that are easier to defend than his position. Right? Because it's quite easy to defend the mixed economy. It's the easiest thing to defend in the fucking world. The entirety of Western Europe has a mixed economy, for crying out loud. It's a system that's been shown to work the world over. And people who believe in that couldn't have done as good a job as he did in tearing Sargon of Akkad a new arsehole, and yet he's getting shit. You have Peter Coffin, who is so left-wing that he blames capitalism and class on everything. As far as he's concerned, the dinosaurs were made extinct 65 million years ago, right, because of capitalism. Because of class structure, right? I mean, he hasn't said that. I'm obviously being a little bit flippant and sarcastic, but he might as well. I've never seen a single Peter Coffin video where he blames anything other than class on the ills of the world. You couldn't get more left wing than that, and he's being pulled to pieces. And these are big channels. Vosh 50,000, but very current. Peter Coffin, about 250,000 subscribers. And then ContraPoints, knocking on close, I think, to about 900,000. Probably not that long before ContraPoints hits 1 million subscribers. And today being torn to pieces by Essence of Thought. Who must be... Essence of Thought appears to be some kind of mission to slag off everybody who isn't Essence of Thought, really, who isn't them. Right? It's like, I don't know. They'd argue with their own fucking left hand, I think, Essence of Thought. And I've been on YouTube now, I want to say 10 years. Probably 12. Now, May 2008, knocking on for 12. 3 or 4 months off 12. And in all that time, I've got it up here ready for you. This was the video. I've mentioned it before. If you've never seen this video, watch this video. This is the world we're in now. Greta Christina, Skepticon 9. There she is, right, with all her chins, stood there, ready to tell us about... well, to be fair to Greta Christina, Trump had just been elected. She had to give a talk, and... by Christ, did she run with it? Did she make a fucking meal of it? You would have thought... I mean, I'm no Trump fan, right? I think Trump's a tosser. I think he's a piece of crap. I think he's useless. I think he's a liar. I think he's hyperbolic. I think he doesn't know what he's fucking doing. He's a joke. He's an absolute fucking joke. But all that notwithstanding, I mean, this talk, you've got to watch it. She's like holding on to the lectern, like she'll fall over unless it's like one of these sort of black and white silent movies where the actress is going like this as Nosferatu's creeping down the tower. You know, and she's talking about how we've got to stick together. People are going to be killed. Our friends are going to die. And unless we're going to have to look out. We're going to have to help each other survive. And it's like, if you think, what? It's like you're watching an episode of The Living Dead. It's like you're in a small enclosure with a little sort of chicken wire fence. And there's 10,000 fucking zombies outside and you're wondering how you're going to get out. That's what you would think had just fucking happened. It's the most hyperbolic load of old crap you've ever fucking heard. 5,400 views, 852 likes. Let me tell you, I could just do a shit live on camera and smear it all over the screen. And it would get 10% dislikes, because that's about it. The worst videos have about 10% dislikes, right? If 10% of the people who view your videos can be asked to click either like or dislike, you've done really well, right? Because people just can't be asked to get 20% of your views disliking it. That's just an achievement. Right, that's just a good effort. You'd have to set out, how can I make this talk to make people dislike it to such a fucking extent, even though it's on the Skepticon channel, which is just intended for people who are like-minded with Greta Christina. The mind boggles how that was achieved. And yet today, Essence of Thought, Ethel, stroke Peter, has managed to surpass it. And I don't even know. I like to think I'm quite eloquent and erudite, and I can sort of waffle on, and I could give you an example. I could just, off the cuff, give you an example of the kind of rhetoric that Essence of Thought had used. But I can't. I mean, he went for 45 minutes, and yes, it's scripted, but to keep it going for 45 minutes, you've never heard anything like it. All I can say is on Twitter, because it's easy sometimes to scope these things out when you can sit and think about it. And I said, if you watch the video, I said, but first watch a documentary on Heinrich Himmler. Of course, one of Hitler's underlings who was responsible for the Holocaust. And if you listen to the rhetoric used about Heinrich Himmler, without thinking about exactly what happened in the Holocaust, right? Because that'll ruin it. It'll prejudice your position. And then watch Essence of Thought's video on ContraPoints. You would go away with the impression that ContraPoints had done some greater atrocity to mankind than Heinrich Himmler. I mean, and yet all ContraPoints did was make 2 fucking videos, the first of which used a person called Book Angel, who sounds like a sort of cartoon character that you would use to get kids reading more, who has some views that some people find contentious. And ContraPoints had used Book Angel to do a voiceover. A voiceover, that was all. Right, that's the first video. And then the second video was this ContraPoints cancelling video. And so far, that has led to 3 sort of 40-minute Essence of Thought video spectaculars. And this third one, look, people say, like, don't give them the views, don't give them this or that. Go and watch it, right? Go and look at Essence of Thought's latest video, and please don't judge it on the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes is hyperbolic and you might find it hard to watch, but you ain't seen nothing yet. It gets worse. It's about the sort of, I don't know, because I was listening on my headphones, so I couldn't see the time points. I reckon it was probably about the 30 to 40 minute mark where it just went off the fucking scale. Right? You think that the bodies, the non-binary people's bodies were lining the street right? Or they're just barricading themselves in their homes because ContraPoints had made this video. I'd never heard anything like it. Never mind snowflake. You'd have to be literally made of fucking snow, right? And living in the Sahara Desert to be as vulnerable as Essence of Thought likes to portray people. And this is the problem, really. ContraPoints is a wonderful voice for trans people and for people on various progressive, social, left-wing positions. You couldn't ask for a person who makes material that is more likely to incline people towards those views. And yet you have people here who will go out of their way. They will make it their business to try and vilify, to try and make people like that out to be amongst the worst people you could possibly imagine, just the most evil, fucking villainous fucking people you could imagine. And they are people that should be on ContraPoints' side. How do you cope with that? How do you cope with that? If you're on the left, how the fuck do you deal with that? With that kind of poison, with those kind of friends, you really don't need any enemies, do you? Okay, look, I'll put them in the links, right? This is just an off-the-cuff video. I can't be asked to do a lot of sorting stuff out, but I will put the Greta Christina video in the links, and I will put the Essence of Thought. If you only watch one, watch the Essence of Thought. Give him the link, right? Don't bother leaving a comment because he'll block it. Don't waste your time spending 20 minutes criticising his fucking video for him to just block it, right? Just don't bother. Just watch it and learn. And learn just how poisonous and twisted and weird some people are. And if you're left wing, then honestly, you have my sympathies, and I mean that genuinely, because this isn't helpful. This isn't helpful to anybody, I don't think. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to have a little bit more of this Vindaloo mix.